Hey everybody, come on in. This is the Yankey Show. We're going to start in just a second. I'm just making sure we're up everywhere and good to go. So come on in. Come on in, guys. This is Yankey Show. We're going to start in just a second and get this going. This is the Sunday afternoon podcast that my wife is mad about. She thinks I'm doing too much and I should take Sundays off. So we are going to move this show. This will be the last Sunday. So we're going to move this show to a new day. I don't know what day yet. Let me know what you think. What day do you want to see the Yankey Show? What day do you want to hang out with me for a little while? But this is the Yankey Show. This is a talk show. Just a podcast, radio, morning show style podcast where we hang out for a little while and talk about all kinds of things. I got some stuff written down, but I always work better off the comments. So if you're here, let me know what you want to talk about and we'll get to that. But I got a lot of stuff to get into. The main thing I want to start with is being your own boss. You know, there's a reason why 98% of people are not successful and 2% are. And it's not hard work. It's not what people would have you believe. That's not it. And not that hard work isn't important. Hard work is very important. But the ultra successful, the people that lived their dreams and got where they're wanting to be in life, did so because they believed in themselves and they kept going every time they got knocked down and every time someone told them no, they believed and they kept moving forward. And that's what I'm trying to do with these shows and with this little entertainment network that I'm building up. I'm trying to make a business and do this as my job for a living, which is good because I tend to be really good at messing things up. As a matter of fact, I overslept this morning. I was supposed to be at a meeting, but I overslept. I woke up, my alarm went off the first time. I don't know if you do this, I'm very bad about this. Snooze. Snooze is the worst. Snooze is my biggest enemy. But I hit snooze. Next thing I know, I woke up. The meeting started 30 minutes ago. There's no way for me to get there. I messed up. I'm good at that. But if I'm my own boss, then I'm going to drag my own ass into my own office. Do you see? That's the way I want it to be. So if you want to help us by supporting that, helping me grow these shows, there's links in the description for how to do that. And I would really appreciate that because everything that I do moving forward with all of these shows is going to be crowdfunded and put out 100% free. I'm always going to put it out for free as long as that's a possibility. As long as things like Facebook and Periscope and YouTube exist, I'm going to put my content out for free and then leave it up to God and just let it do what it does. It'll grow or it'll die. You know, I'm going to put my effort into it. I'm going to put in the work and the belief. I believe I can do this. It's crazy, but I believe I can do it. I believe I can run a business out of my house by just running my mouth. So if you think so too, support us with the links in the description or by sharing, getting this out, growing the shows. We're just starting. I've only been doing this seriously now for about a month and a half. So we're just starting. Things are going to really improve. Things are going to get better moving forward. Cooler backgrounds, cooler shows, different things. And I want to hear from you what you want to see because I'm making these shows for you. I'm not doing this to talk to myself. That's not what I'm doing. It may seem like that sometimes. And then I'm also swinging in the dark. A lot of this, I don't know what I'm doing. I decided to do shows for you guys. Now, I've been doing them from my timeline on Facebook. And we're going to get to social media a little later on, but I've been doing them from my timeline. I don't know if that's right. Should I be doing them from a page? I have no idea. I'm swinging in the dark. I don't know what I'm doing. No idea, but I want to be my own boss. And maybe you have a dream, whatever it is, something you want to do. You can have it. People will line up to tell you no. They will trip over themselves to tell you no, but you can have it. All you got to do is tell yourself yes. All you need is you. You got to believe. It's really nice and it helps a lot to have people around that support you and build you up. That's great. I'm lucky enough to have a lot of people like that. But really, all you need is you. You got to believe in you. If you believe for a lot of reasons. And the main one is there's a lot of bad bosses out there, you know. And if you're a boss, please don't be a bad boss. Don't bring your personal problems and your attitude to the work environment and drag everybody down, or don't be power hungry and power mad with the little bit of control and power and authority that you have and run rampant with it and treat people like garbage. You know, let's not do that either. That's what a lot of bosses do. You give somebody a little bit of authority and they go nuts with it. They can't handle it. It's too much. They don't know how to act. So they just treat everybody in a way that they would never want to be treated themselves, and they're oblivious to it. There's so many bad bosses out there, and I've worked for many of them. And I just want to be my own boss, you know. I always have. I've always wanted to be in entertainment. I do stand-up comedy. Never really got out of the rural Midwest. Probably says a lot for me needing that day job, right? But I love it and I do that. Now I do this. And this is more what I think my gift is. I do a political show in the mornings every day, Monday through Saturday, called The Daily Burn. And we talk about the political revolution and we talk about the fight we're in, but it's a motivational show. So I do it in a way where I'm building everybody up for the fight that we're in. So that means I got to get ready. I can't just go on the air and talk about whatever in any frame of mind. I got to be ready to talk about the fight and about revolution and about fighting. So I got to be in a strong state of mind. I listen to a lot of motivational videos to get in that state of mind to talk on that show. And one of them was a motivational speech by Steve Harvey. And he was talking about living in your gift. And he told a story about Marie Callender and how she just made pies. That's all she knew how to do. She loved to make pies. She just made fantastic pies and she worked at a diner. And the diner was going out of business. And she asked the owner, "Hey, would you like to sell some of my pies?" And he's like, "Hell, I'll take a shot at it." So they brought in a pie. People started buying them up. Next thing you know, she's making 10 pies, bringing 10 pies in, people buying all these pies. Next thing you know, she's running her own bakery out of her apartment. She kept working for this diner, but she made her living doing what she loved. And he was saying, maybe you're good at frying chicken. Maybe you're good at running and jumping. Maybe you're really good at basketball. Maybe you can sing. But I can talk. I have a gift for talking. And I think I'm gifted at it enough to make it my job. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Because I'm done with having to kiss ass. We were talking about bad bosses. But you also got to kiss a lot of ass to get ahead in this world. And I don't want to. I want to answer to me. I want to be responsible for my own destiny. I think we all do deep down. Some of us, there's another inspirational guy I was listening to a lot, and he wrote a book called Rich Father, Poor Father. And the reason for that title is he had a poor father. His father was a worker, he was a government worker. And then his friend's father was an entrepreneur. Well, he would go to his father and he'd be like, "What about this or that?" And his dad would give him the straight answer. He'd be like, "Why don't we learn about money in school?" And his dad would be like, "Well, you don't need to know about money." He's like, "Well, don't I need to know about money? Isn't that why I'm going to get a job? To get money?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, but you don't need to know about money. You just need to know about getting a job." He's like, "Well, I want to know about money." He's like, "Well, if you want to know about money, you need to ask your friend's dad." So he would ask his rich father advice. And he found that rich and poor people think differently. And really, we do. We have different frames of mind, and you're trained to believe that you're in your situation fully because of your own fault and circumstances. Well, yes and no. Like, you have the power to get out of your circumstances, but some people are more blessed than others. Some people are luckier than others. And to ignore that is just an outright lie. And then people are raised differently than others. Like, for example, this man. He was lucky enough to have two influences, a rich father and a poor father. But a lot of people just have the poor father that tells you, pay attention, do good in school, get good grades on those tests, go to college, get a good job, you know? And that's fine. That's good. That will serve you well. And that's a respectable life. But you can have better if you want. You can do what you want to do if you want to. And that's what I'm going to try to do. And that's what I'm doing here with these shows. If you're wondering why your feed has become flooded with my face, I'm trying to grow my brand and grow my name and get these shows out there and get an interest in them. And so I am kind of kissing ass. I'm kissing your ass, but that's the ass that I want to kiss. Sorry for all the A words, but I would rather kiss up to you, those of you that I'm trying to make entertainment for. And I want to answer to you. Like, I want to be told if I'm doing something you don't like. I want to be told if I do something wrong. You know, I want to hear from you. So please comment. Please let me know what you want to talk about and we'll get into it. These are all participation shows. All of my shows are. I will fill all the dead air, but I'd love to hear from you. But next thing I have written down to talk about is social media. Now, I've been dealing with a lot of social media lately, especially since I'm starting this business. And to promote myself, I have to deal with a lot of social media, an unreal amount of it. So I've been doing that, of course. And but I recently did a friend of mine's show. My friend Robert Stanley has a podcast called The Right to Reason. And I was recently on his show and we did an episode, a panel about social media. And we discussed all different aspects of social media. But social media is a part of life now. Even if you're not a content creator like me who's trying to find different social venue avenues to share your content, you're involved with social media. You've got a Facebook, a personal Facebook, and all of that in your own little accounts, in your own little world. Hey, Jennifer. I'm sorry, I haven't been able to see the comments on Facebook. So Jennifer was here. That's my cousin. Good to see you. But social media is a part of everyone's life and a big part of society now. And it also happens to be where business takes place. And the global marketplace now, the town square really here is online and takes place on social media. That is the way of things now. That's the way it is. So social media is a part of our life, whether you like it or not. And no matter how involved with it you are, it influences you and is in control of your life. But on this panel I was on, I was trying to show that we're manipulated by it. You are. The algorithms manipulate you, manipulate your emotions, manipulate your feelings, control what you think. They try to anyway. They try to control what you think, but they definitely control what you're exposed to and what you take in. And that's all scientifically designed as a weapon. And I'm dealing with that as a content creator, the restrictions. Because, like I was saying, the marketplace is online now. That's where you make your money. A large part of society makes a living off internet and online in some way. And I'm trying to do that. And when you're trying to do that, you need things like you need Facebook, you need Twitter, you need YouTube. If you make videos and put out video content, you need YouTube. Where else you gonna go? Where else you gonna put your videos? Where are you gonna put your ads? How are you gonna get out to your customers without social media nowadays? You're not gonna reach anybody. That's your billboard. That's your voice. Social media. So, you know, this censorship that's going on, where Facebook now considers themselves a publisher and they can control what gets out on their platform, or even YouTube, they're owned by Google. Google also considers themselves something of a publisher that can control their content. And they're going after things that they deem to be conspiratorial or fake news. Well, who decides what's fake news? Who picks and chooses? You see why that's dangerous? I think that's just a path we don't want to go down. I don't want someone picking and choosing what I get to see. Let me pick and choose what I get to see. But fake news is established in society now. They just put it in the dictionary. The Oxford Dictionary just announced that fake news is now a recognized term in our vernacular, in our language now. Isn't that crazy? Fake news. So Trump wins again. Trump always wins, doesn't he? But Trump wins again. He got a word in the dictionary or a phrase. And its definition, I'm sure, is inaccurate because what fake news really is, fake news has nothing to do with fake news. I'm going to tell you what fake news really is. The war on fake news is a war against the truth and a war against dissenting voices and a war against unpopular speech. That's what it is. It has nothing to do with aliens, stories about aliens or lizard people. That's not what it is. That's not what fake news is. Fake news is things like WikiLeaks. Fake news is the truth. Fake news is real information, real journalism, real shows, and they're shutting them down in real time. And that's why this corporate censorship is a big deal. And people ignore it, but you shouldn't, because where else is a place like RT going to put out their content? Where else would a place like me, a person like me, where else would I put out my content? Where else would I get out entertainment or shows like this? Say you like this, where would you get it if everywhere to get it is shut down? Google wants it to be their eventual goal is to when you make a search on their search engine, you only get one result. That's the way they think it should be. Look it up. They think you should only get one result. Well, how many things do you know of that are only true from one angle or only one way or one way of looking at things? I can't think of any. Not really, not off the top of my head. Most stories have a couple different sides to them, and I would like different sides, different expressions of a story. You know, that would be nice. I enjoy that kind of stuff. But the mainstream media, you're not going to get it there, and you're not going to get it on social media. Social media is controlled. It just is. And that's a shame, but it's a fact. And it's an unfortunate fact. And something that won't change if we don't do everything we can to change it. And I'm trying my best to do that, but And I know that a lot of you are too. A lot of the people that watch the stuff that I do and the feeds that I put out, you guys are good people. And I know you're active and you're fighting in whatever way you choose to fight. We all know what I think we should do, but you don't have to agree with that. Fight in some way. Do something about all of this evil. We're in the age of deceit. And the only thing that's going to do anything to stop what's going on with truth trying to be shut down in real time is us fighting back against it. So fight back against it however you can, whatever that is to you. Just be aware of it, know about it, spread the truth, do what you can, support independent journalism and shows, wink, wink, like this one. And real quick, since I brought that up, there are a few ways to support us. Like I said in the description, there are links, but sharing, commenting, interacting in the shows, that helps us tremendously. You'd be surprised because of these algorithms. YouTube has an algorithm. I'm sure Periscope has an algorithm, and Facebook for sure has an algorithm. They control what gets out. So when you're watching a show and you interact with it, it does better. It gets out to more people because that tells the computer, hey, people like this. So smashing the like buttons, that actually does do something. It's not just fun. I love to do it. Whenever I'm at a live feed, I smash the like buttons all the time because I love seeing my face run up the screen. But I have found that it actually does help the video do better and get out to more people. So interact as much as you can in the show. That helps me. But I also have a GoFundMe that we're doing because there are things that I want to be able to do moving forward that are expensive. And I don't have the initial startup cash to get them right now. We'll have them eventually, but it was brought to my attention that we should raise money. We should crowdfund. That's what we're going to do is crowdfund. So I got a GoFundMe going for equipment and cool software that will allow me to interview people. I have a lot of people lined up to interview, but the software is $300, the streaming software. So the GoFundMe will be to help with things like that. I'll add a link to it after the show. Help out in the GoFundMe if you can. Become a supporter on Patreon if you can, or send me a virtual high five. Any way you can help out, I would really appreciate it. End of commercials. But this social media platform panel that I was on, I invite you to listen to it. You can find, I'll add this link too after the show, but the episode of The Right to Reason that I was on, I invite you to listen to it. It was a really good episode. It was a little bit of a crowded panel. There were six of us, but we did a good job of getting the point across what we were trying to talk about. And I thought I did a good job putting my 2 cents in that social media is a weapon. Hey, Ginger. Social media is a weapon used against us every day. And that's all it's ever been. But I got a game planned for us here in a little bit, a little game to play, and some more stuff to talk about. But for instance, Kiss, the rock band Kiss, just did a huge show, right? Big show, big production, big deal down in Australia. Do you know who the audience was? Sharks. They performed a Kiss concert, a full blown Kiss concert with pyrotechnics, makeup, all of it, the whole 9 yards, for a tank of sharks. Isn't that crazy? Can you hear my son singing? My son loves Eddie Vedder, and he tends to think that he's going to be the replacement for Eddie Vedder when Eddie Vedder retires from Pearl Jam, and he rocks out to Pearl Jam on a daily basis. But I love it. It's cool. And I can hear it. I don't know if you can hear it, but if you listen really close, you can hear a really good Eddie Vedder tribute concert going on in my house right now. And my mic's decent. It's not perfect, but Ginger says she can hear it. Yeah, you can hear it. It'll come through every once in a while. Holy shit. I wrote down some, sorry, I cussed. I try not to cuss. I wrote down some facts to go into, and I just saw one that I wrote down. I forgot writing it down. Let's just go into them for a minute, real quick. This is what we do on here, just random stuff. I got more topics to talk about later, and I'd like to hear from you, whatever you want to talk about. But did you know that snails have 14,000 teeth? Snails, 14,000 teeth, and some of them can even kill you. There are snails that can kill you. Pearl Jam is great. Pearl Jam is one of the best bands ever, in my opinion. They're heavily underrated. I think they're more influential to today's music than Nirvana, even. I think Pearl Jam's mark on the music industry is a lot more enormous than they're given credit for. And Eddie Vedder is just such a talented, gifted musician. All the guys in Pearl Jam are really good. They're a great live band, too. But Eddie Vedder is so gifted. He's such a great musician and songwriter, lyric writer. Their music is very good, and a lot of their songs are very deep. Some of them are very deep, but about weird subjects. Like there is a song that Marvin loves and plays all the time, and he sings along with, and it's a beautiful song, right? And I thought it was about this longing, this deep love. I thought for sure it had to be about some kind of deep, deep love. It's about his surfboard. So yeah, he loves his surfboard. He loves to surf. Eddie Vedder's a surfer, and it is about love, but it's about love for a surfboard. I've been listening to this song since it was on their first album. I've been listening to this song ever since then. Thought it was about deep, deep longing and love and passion. It's about a surfboard. I think that's hilarious. That's funny to me. I like weird, obscure facts like that. Like, did you know Burt Reynolds was supposed to be Rocky? The studio, when Sylvester Stallone, talk about believing in your dreams. When Sylvester Stallone was selling Rocky, the movie Rocky, nobody wanted him to be Rocky. They wanted Burt Reynolds to be Rocky. They wanted to buy it from him, but they didn't want him to be Rocky. He wouldn't sell it if he couldn't be Rocky. That's how Sylvester Stallone got into the movie business because he stood his ground and he wouldn't sell the movie Rocky unless he could play Rocky. Did you know that the human nose can remember 50,000 different scents? I have a game that I'm planning in the future, and it's fake facts. Like, pick the fake fact. Like, we did a game on the last episode called Not the Onion, where I did three news stories, and you had to pick which one was from the Onion. And today I got one a game that rotates around fake news. So we're going to play that later on. So I got a fake news game coming up that we're going to play because I thought that was relevant with fake news earning its way into the dictionary. Isn't that interesting? That's fascinating to me that they would put fake news in the dictionary. Ginger says, my BIL did screenshots for Pearl Jam in Vancouver. Wow, that would be cool. Did he meet them? Or I don't know what a BIL is. Could be a she or an it. I shouldn't identify. Don't want to label. Can't do that. But whatever a BIL is, did they meet Pearl Jam? Ginger says I suck at Trivia Pursuit. I'm terrible at Trivia Pursuit, and I've lost my stuff over a game of Pictionary. I can't draw for at all. I can't draw. And I lost my stuff one time playing Pictionary. Now, in my defense, tequila was involved. Tequila was involved. So, in my defense, there was more to the story, but Pictionary is a frustrating game when you can't draw. Brother in law. Come on now. You can't expect me to figure that out. Think during a live show. What do you want from me, Ginger? Superhuman abilities? Made the promotional posters. Very cool. That would be sweet. Yeah, they seem like cool guys. You know, they say never meet your heroes because you'd be disappointed. But I think Pearl Jam would be cool. I would like to hang out with them. you know, kind of like grandkids. I'll hang out with them for the weekend. That's probably enough. Then I'll send them back to their, to Seattle, to the wild where they're happiest. But hey, Sean, good to see you. Good to see people coming in. This is the Yankee Show. We do this once a week. It's not going to be on Sundays anymore. Babos doesn't want it on Sundays. So I need a new day of the week for Yankee Show, a new day and time, and you can pick it. Steve's here. Hey, Steve. You can pick it whenever you want to see this show. What day of the week and what time is best for you? It's homeless now. Today is the last day that it will be on Sunday. That's sad to me. I like doing it every day. She thinks I'm doing too much, and she's right. She's always right. You'll find that, well, I have found that the best way to live in life is to find somebody smarter than you and listen to what they say. And that's what I did. So I'm wrong so often that I figure if I just rely on what she says, I'll be good. Now, if I could just get myself to listen, that's tough. I hear her, but I don't listen. So I'm slow on the uptake sometimes. It's hard for me to learn, and but she is always right. Ginger says I love that she's always right. She is. Even if I think she's wrong, I find out later she was right. But I always got to do it for myself. I'm that person. I'm that stubborn person. I always got to make the mistake for myself. Let me grab this really quick. But yeah, Kiss. The band Kiss did a full blown concert for a shark tank. A tank full of sharks in Australia. I'm looking through these facts that I wrote down, and I know I'm all over the place, but I'm waiting for comments. There's some people here on YouTube as well. Comment. Let me know what you want to talk about. We can get anything you want. I got more stuff to talk about, and we got a game coming up, but we can get into anything you want. But and Periscope too. You guys speak up. Periscope is a quiet bunch. Periscope is Twitter's streaming service, and I've been over there. It's kind of new, but they are a quiet bunch. They don't really talk much. But yeah, Kiss, can you imagine getting all dressed up? Because it's Kiss. So it's a huge theatrical performance. Full makeup, full costume, all the gear, all the pyrotechnics for sharks, which would be badass. Don't get me wrong. The imagery in my head, I didn't even look up images of it. I read it, but the imagery in my head is probably cooler than real life's ever going to be. But I gotta know, did these sharks rock out? Because a shark can't quit swimming. So did they swim faster? Did they react? Or did they hate Kiss? Maybe some of the sharks committed suicide, stopped swimming. But I was looking at this fact site and it says sunsets on Mars are blue. How in the hell do they know that sunsets on Mars are blue? The Mars rover? Maybe the Mars rover sent back a picture. Now that I'm saying it out loud, I've just answered my own question. Okay, the Mars rover. But I was watching Cosmos once, and Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking about the oceans on Jupiter. And I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? We've never been to Jupiter. We don't know what's on Jupiter. He was in a spaceship of the imagination, which I guess makes it okay. But he was talking about them like he knew for a fact that they're made out of acid. Like, how do you know that? Do you know that in 2005, Mark Zuckerberg tried to sell Facebook for 75 million? That's not that long ago. He's crazy rich now, in control of my destiny. Come on, Mark, let me through. Let me through. You know, I started in comedy, and when you were at a club, there was usually a showrunner. who would run the open mics. And it would be up to him if you got up to the stage, and everybody wanted to go up to stage. There'd be 30 guys wanting to get stage time. And this one person was in charge of everyone's fate, whether or not you got to go up. Now that's Mark Zuckerberg for me. Now my stage is on here, and Mark Zuckerberg's my gatekeeper. Please, Mark, come on. Let me through. Let me through. I made it a long time without doing that. I apologize. I'm going to quit smoking, but until I do, I get anxiety. You might not be able to tell, but I get stage fright. And I get stage fright doing live feeds. I get nervous. I get performance anxiety and all of that. I like it. That's one other reason why I like it. It's exciting to me, just like performing on stage for an audience is exciting because it's interactive. I like talking to the people, and I like hanging out with you guys, especially everybody that's here right now. We got a really solid group here right now. But on YouTube, you guys got to perk up. I feed off the comments. We're going to have a much better show if people are talking. But let me know what you want to talk about. Anything at all. Nothing's off limits. Marvina Babos. Babos is here. Hey, Babos. Leonard Skinner got their name from a high school teacher, Leonard Skinner, who suspended students for having long hair. That's fascinating. I love little stuff like that. Steve says, I've heard Zuckerberg stole the Facebook idea from his college roommate. He did. He did. And, everybody that's in a position like Mark Zuckerberg stepped on a lot of people to get there. But yeah, he stole it. He directly stole it. And, Steve Jobs, something similar to that. He didn't steal, but he did something similar and ripped off a friend in his coming up. But a lot of them do. A lot of them, they don't mind cutting you or stabbing you in the back. Did you know that the Boston Marathon didn't allow female runners until 1972? Isn't that crazy when you think about how long ago women and black people didn't even have rights in this country? It wasn't that long ago. It's amazing to me when you think about history and think about how far we've come. So we've really come pretty far in some ways, and in some ways we've not come far at all. Some people are stuck in time, frozen. It's sad. You want to play the game? Let me know if you guys are ready to play the game. We have about 3 people here on YouTube, a couple on Periscope, and a couple on Facebook. I'm going to go off reactions. So let me see some heart reactions if you want to play the game, and we'll play the game. I got a new game planned, and it centers around fake news. So you're going to tell me, I'm going to read 3 news stories. One of them's fake. And you're going to tell me which one's the fake story. So let me get ready and make sure everybody knows we're playing the game. I saw some hearts. I'm going to take that as permission to play my game. So the game is coming up. Dale says, what game? It's called fake news. I don't have a name for it. But what it is I wrote down 3 stories. One of them's fake. And you got to tell me which one's fake, right? So I'm going to read them all like they're true. They all came from the same place. Well, one came from my imagination, but the rest of them came from weird news from Huffington Post. That was today's source, weird news from Huffington Post. So 2 of these are true. 2 of these are real stories, and one of them is fake. One of them I made up. Dale says this is pretty NPR. Wait, what? Oh, anyways, so let's play the game. It'll either suck or it won't. But I'm going to give you guys a chance to answer. I'll fill a little time after the game, and then we'll give the answer coming up later, and we'll wrap it up with that. And that's how we'll play this, okay? So I'm going to do the stories real quick now. We'll start with the first one. There is a bar that is now charging patrons by the hour for drinks instead of by the drink. You pay an hourly rate and drink whatever you want. This is a new bar's practice. They're doing this moving forward, and they say that they're being successful with it. That's the first story. So a bar charging patrons by the hour. What do you win? We'll establish a prize. We'll negotiate a prize during the course. What do you think is fair, Dale? Let me ask you that for one. Now remember, this show has a budget of $0. So whatever prize you come up with needs to cost $0 because it's got to fit in our budget. Babos is the boss, and she's not going to let me spend money on prizes. So it's got to be a free prize, but it can be like a virtual back rub. I'll give you a virtual back rub, something like that. But it's going to be virtual and imaginary. Ginger said, "Is that in Amsterdam?" No, I'll tell you what. On this one, I'll give you a hint. On the first story, that bar is in Missouri. That bar is in my state. So a bar in Missouri is charging people by the hour. Now don't cheat. Don't Google. Next story. This is story 2. We'll do 1, 2, 3. So the bar in Missouri charging people by the hour is story 1. The next story is there is a city in the United States of America again, but they are fighting back against dog poop. People walking their dogs and not cleaning up after their dogs, which I have to say I am guilty of. I'm bad about it. I just never remember to bring a bag, but I need to. I really need to. And but anyways, this town is fighting back. And what they're doing is they're placing flags with a phone number every time that these neighborhood watch people see dog poop. They put a flag in there and a phone number, and anybody with information on where that pile came from calls that number and they get a reward. And they're cracking down on dog poop. So you're moving to Missouri? Awesome. We'll have to hook up. What part of Missouri are you moving to? That's awesome. It sucks. It's a red state. You're going to hate it. But, anyways, that was story 2. So, a campaign against dog poop by a city in the United States with phone numbers and rewards. That's story 2. The third story, there was a customer at a Chick-fil-A that dropped their bag down into a sewer grate. And the employee went down in the sewer and got it out for them. Now, at first I thought it was weird because why would they do that? Well, it turns out they dropped their wallet at the same time they were paying and they dropped their wallet and everything. But this employee at Chick-fil-A went into the sewer and got the food out for the customer. So that is story 3. Now, these all came from Weird News on Huffington Post if you want to check them out for yourself. One of these stories is fake, though. The bar charging by the hour, story 1. The story 2 about the city fighting dog poop with flags. And story 3 about the Chick-fil-A employee going into the sewer to rescue the customer's wallet and belongings. So I'm going to talk for a minute and we'll get back to the game and the answer to the game. Which one was the fake news? But that's another kind of cute thing that shows is it's hard to tell. You know, only one of those stories is fake. The other ones are true. The other ones are completely true. And I'm going to give a second so we give everyone time to answer some what do you think? Like about 30 seconds. We'll give everybody about 30 seconds to answer. What do you think? Story 1, story 2, or story 3? Babel says that she bets she knows which is fake. Which one? 1, 2, or 3? What's your guess? Somebody guess, and then I'll give you the answer. Satisfy me with one guess. That way I know I gave enough time because I'm impatient. I'm an impatient child, and I never give enough time, and I never wait long enough. So when I see one answer, Marvina says story 1. All right, Babels, you are wrong. Story 1 is true. It's a bar here in Missouri, and they're charging people by the hour for drinks. You go in, you pay an hourly rate, and you drink however much you want. Steve says story 3. Dale says number 1 also. I thought it was fake too, but it's not. That's true. Story 1 is true. Ginger and Steve say 3, and they are right. Story 3 is made up. It's actually a modification. The employee at Chick-fil-A did go into the sewer, but it was to rescue like a wedding ring or something like that. It was something important. It wasn't a wallet or a customer's money or a food. So I just kind of cheated a little and tweaked one, but story 3 was the fake one. But there is a town also in Missouri. It's funny how both of those stories came from Missouri. I didn't get them from a local paper. I got them from HuffPost. But the town in Missouri that's fighting with the dog poop with the little flags and the phone numbers, that's actually kind of a good idea, but I would get ratted out quick. Babel says, "Where's the bar at?" I'll have to look it up. It wasn't a town I had heard of. I think it's more down in the city and places that we don't usually go. But Ginger says, "I want a bar like that." Right? So you pay an hourly rate. And some people, it's like insurance. Some people use it, some people don't. I bet there's some people in there downing beers and some people in there sipping. But they say they're making money doing it. It's working out as a business model and people are having a good time. So it'll be like something where you got to look back on it 10 years from now and see if they're still in business. See if that business model carried on. But there's a lot of interesting business models out there. There was that one entrepreneur who was paying all of his employees um, a lot of money and claimed that he was doing great. The morale and the output of the employees balanced everything out. So there's ups and downs to different business practices. We're just used to the greed-based business practice that we usually see practiced. But so that was today's game, fake news. Hopefully you guys like that. But I thought it was interesting and it tied everything together because fake news just made it into the dictionary. Fake news is part of the vernacular now. Isn't that crazy? Did you know that banks have therapists known as wealth psychologists who help ultra rich clients who are unable to mentally cope with their immense wealth? Can you imagine having that problem? I want that problem. I want to need to talk to a counselor because I'm so rich I can't deal with it. Those are the problems that I want. These are the things that I want to struggle with in my life. I want to go to my bank and talk to my wealth counselor about how tough it is being super rich. Isn't that crazy? Howard Stern, that's one of my heroes in broadcasting. And again, I don't agree with everything Howard does. I can like people and not agree with them all the time. There were times I had to turn Howard off, you know, turn the channel, but I always turned it back on, and a lot of people that don't like Howard do the same thing. That's an interesting fact about Howard Stern, but we'll get to that later. What I was going to talk about is he used to play a game on his show where they would list common items like a gallon of milk and or a subway token, and Howard would try to guess how much they were because he's so out of touch with the cost of things as a rich successful man who has assistants and people that take care of everything for him. He doesn't know how much a gallon of milk is or a subway token, and it was a fun game. But think about Jeff Bezos. Think about how out of touch Jeff Bezos has to be. I saw a meme. I shared a meme, and it's fascinating to me that this meme turned out to be factually accurate. But the meme says that if you made $5,000 a day, from the time that Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492, you wouldn't accumulate as much wealth as Jeff Bezos does in one day. I shared it, not thinking that it was factually accurate, just thinking, wow, I bet that's true. That sounds like it could be true. That's probably ridiculous, but it could be true. Shared it anyway. Somebody fact checked it. It's true. It's factually accurate. That is ridiculous. I'm sorry, I have my Facebook up because I have to. And somebody just mentioned Snopes as a fact checker. Snopes is very unreliable as a fact checker. Snopes is bought and controlled. And a lot of media is, a lot of information sites, a lot of things are controlled. And that's not a conspiracy thing to say. I won't go too far with it because this isn't my conspiracy theory show, Wednesday nights at 9 p.m., by the way. But these entities are controlled, and Snopes is controlled by two people, actually. And, of course, they have a narrative and an objective and goals. And they've also been proven not to be reliable, you know. Dale says if I think about Bezos, I'll need to bleach my brain. Billionaires are disgusting. That kind of wealth is disgusting. It's not I've compared it to a dragon from a Tolkien novel, and it's very much the same thing. It's like an evil dragon in a Tolkien novel guarding a pile of gold. You have more resources and wealth than you could ever need or use in 100 lifetimes. And you just keep up sucking more, sucking more, sucking more. Jeff Bezos pays no taxes. Makes more money in one day than you would make if you made $5,000 a day since 1492. I'm not good at math, but that's a lot of money. Hell, $5,000 is a lot of money to me. Jeff Bezos would walk past a pile of $5,000 like it was dog poop. He'd put a little flag next to it with a phone number, wanting to know who left that trash on the street. That kind of wealth is disgusting. I'm not going to rant. This isn't the rant show. Doesn't have a day or time, but we have a rant show. But it's disgusting. He has a yacht that parks inside of his yacht. Look it up. It's the silliest thing you've ever seen. You drive a big old yacht and you pull your smaller yacht out of it and then drive around a little bit, I guess, and then go back and park in your big yacht. What it is you got too much money. You got so much money, you don't know what to do with it. So you do ridiculous things like buy a boat that goes inside of another boat. Garages that come out of the ground and you park your car into the ground. They got neat shit. They got really cool stuff. But they got more money and more wealth than anyone ever could possibly need, and no one deserves. And they never got to that position. They never got to that status or that place in life on their own by their own hard work and the sweat of their brow. They don't let them sell you that. That's complete garbage and a lie. That's a fantasy. They got there by stepping on the backs of others and by using society. They don't pay into it. Like I said, Jeff Bezos pays no taxes. No matter how you feel politically, that's not okay. You pay taxes. I hope you do. I do. But Jeff Bezos don't. And Jeff Bezos has more money than the dragon from Lord of the Rings. More money than the Catholic Church, which is an obscene amount of money. More money than the royal family, probably. The royal family is one of the largest landowners on the planet. There is immense wealth concentrated in just a few hands. And again, no matter how you feel politically, these people control our lives and control everything you see, hear, and take in. And they use it for evil. They use it to advance their agenda, not to advance yours. And what you support is what will grow. So support independent journalism and independent shows. When you find them, support them. And you do that in many ways, not just financially, but by sharing, by getting the word out, by telling people about it. Man, doing all you can to get it out there. Support it. When you find something you like, support it. And get the word out, most important. Share it. Interact. Help it grow. And then, what do we want to end out with? I got a couple things written down that I could end out with, but I want to wrap this all up. Let me look at what we talked about. But while I'm doing that, let me know anything you want to say in the comments. Anything you guys want to get into today before we wrap up. Let's see. What have you guys been saying? Let me look at Facebook. Heavy.com debunks hoaxes, but I haven't had my coffee yet, so my brain is mush. Oh, they're talking about debunked sites. Marvina says the royal family's net worth is roughly 700 million on paper. On paper. Look at how much land they own. You know, a lot of people like the Rockefellers, even, all their wealth is not known. A lot of it is unknown. A lot of it is in the ether. It can't be measured. The royal family's a lot like that. So yes, their net worth, their pocket money, their on-hand funds might be 700 million, but their worth, you got to take in their art, their property, their land, all of that into account. And then you're talking about a much larger number. You know that England still technically owns the United States of America. We're going to cover this in a conspiracy theories and chill coming up. But we never won the Revolutionary War. It was actually a treaty. We didn't win. They weren't defeated. We negotiated. And they still hold the lease. And we'll talk about that in an upcoming conspiracy theories and chill and other things. We got a lot of things coming up in the horizon on the shows. But I've been working nonstop. Babels wants me to take Sundays off. So from now on, Yankey Show won't be on Sundays. I'm going to have to do what Babels says because Babels is always right. And she's a genius and the boss. So for all of those reasons, I have to listen to what she says. You know, because happy wife equals a happy life. And I want to be happy. But let me see if anybody's talking about anything they want to get into. So a few on YouTube, a few on Facebook. And YouTube and Periscope are being really quiet today. But Facebook's talking. Let me see. Do. All right. So check out. I'm going to do a couple plugs. Check out the latest episode of Conspiracy Theories and Chill on. Check all these out on my YouTube channel, by the way, me on things and stuff. I'm trying to get my YouTube channel to 1,000 subscribers. We are almost there. I've been stuck at 880 for like a month. You know, I started that YouTube channel 3 years ago, and my first goal for it was to get it to 1,000 subscribers. Because at 1,000 subscribers, you can monetize. Then other doors open, other possibilities open, better chat options, etc. So once I get to 1,000, all that opens up for me. So that was my first goal. It's been 3 years I've been pushing at this goal, and we're at 880. So I'll add a link after the show if you can help me share my YouTube channel. And it's a good little channel. You know, I put a lot of good content into it. I put a lot of work into what I put up there. So it's worth following. And if you could share that, I would really appreciate it. But share this stuff from my YouTube. The Conspiracy Theories and Chill episode is up on YouTube. The MK Ultra video that we just made, the mini documentary from that episode, also on YouTube. And check out the Lucius Trust episode and video on YouTube. It got like 40 views. This is a big deal. It's a Luciferian organization running out of the United Nations. Look into that. But that's what we do on Conspiracy Theories and Chills. We expose stuff like that. We got a lot coming up in the future on that one. And then the Daily Burn. That's every day, Monday through Saturday at 9 a.m. And that's all about the political revolution and the fight we're in right now. Then there's this one, which is now homeless and doesn't have a day. So let me know what's good for you, what day and time you would like, and we'll give it a new home. Then there's Yankee Rants, which I am officially bringing back, and it also is homeless. And Hindsight News, which went very well. That's a news show, also homeless. Those are up in the air. So we got a lot going on. Support us if you can with the links in the description or by supporting and sharing and subscribing to me on YouTube. And follow me on Twitter at Sean Yankey. I am on Twitter trying to build it up. Twitter is a lot like talking to yourself in a crowded room. It's weird. But social media is weird. Reddit is tough. I just started on Reddit as well because Reddit is a really good site for getting out content, for content creators to share. Reddit's really good. You get really good interaction off of Reddit, but they are brutal on Reddit. They rip me to shreds on Reddit. I shared a daily burn on Reddit, and now it's at 50% likes, 50% like ratio on Reddit for my daily burn. Like one of the most positive shows you could possibly have, and it's getting ripped to shreds. I posted a flat earth episode on there to a flat earth group, and I'm being shredded. I've already been banned from their science subreddit. So I'm having a good time on Reddit, doing really good over there. And I'm just trying to learn how to use it. Again, Babas would tell you if I would just learn their rules, I would probably have a better go at it. But I don't learn the rules. I don't want to learn the rules. I've got no patience for the rules. I like to do it my own way. And that works about 50% of the time, but I'm stubborn and I stick with it. You know what I mean? And I'm insane. That's the definition of insanity, to keep doing the same thing expecting different results. I'm crazy. But what do you guys want to get into? We're going to talk about anything you want before we wrap up. I figure we'll do a little bit more time and then we'll wrap up, and I will push away from the computer and give Babels the rest of the day. So Elizabeth says we are trying to get all of Sean's videos. Hold on, let me go up. On our Pin Video Network too. If you have any good videos, share them here too. Right on. Good little link. Share anything you want, guys. Anything you want to talk about. Ginger says Rebel by Nature too. Anarchy all the way. I'm not learning the rules. Damn the man. Damn the man. I'll do it my way or the highway. And sometimes it's the highway. Elizabeth says, according to records, the best time on Facebook, most seen to post is around 5 p.m. I read 3. 3 p.m., 3 to 5 is what I read. So you're right. 3 to 5, and 5 is probably the best if I think about it. Because 5, most people are home from work, and then 5 Central would be, 7 Eastern, and I don't know. I'm not good with that off the top of my head. All these clocks were just spinning around in my mind and muddying everything. But I think that would put me a good central time where I'd be about 6 o'clock here, 4 o'clock here, 5 o'clock here. Good little area. 5 o'clock. What day of the week? What day of the week's good for you? You know, I had somebody suggest to me that I move Conspiracy Theories and Chill to Friday night. But I tried one on a Friday night just as a whim. It didn't do very good. I think people are busy on Friday nights. But who knows? Maybe the day doesn't matter. You know, the shows stay up, so you can watch them whenever you want. Elizabeth says you are stubborn. Mama is watching. I find Reddit hard to... Hold on. Hard to maneuver. Oh, okay. Reddit's tough. Reddit's tough, but I get a lot of interaction on Reddit. It's very active. So I want to learn to use it, but I haven't perfected it yet. And you got to be careful, because I've had a Reddit before and they'll kick you. You don't do it right on Reddit, they'll kick you. And they'll only about 60% of my posts are successful, because they don't let you post all the time either. And you post something, it'll tell you, hey, you're doing that too much. Wait 8 minutes. Seriously. Reddit's a lot stricter. But as a result, their users tend to be more interactive. I get good results sharing stuff on Reddit, so I'm going to try to learn Reddit better, and Twitter. I'm growing my Twitter. I only have my Twitter up to like 170 followers, but I spit hot fire. I mean, I really do spit hot fire. So if you like hot fire and really great, insightful content and super cool shows, follow me on Twitter at Sean Yankey. If you tweet. Tweeting is weird though. It's hard. Twitter's weird too. And if you know any other good social media sites, let me know. I'm thinking about checking out VK. It's a Russian one. But maybe Russian people will watch me. Who knows? Who knows? There's a lot of Americans doing very well on VK. I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna check it out. So I can stream to 5 places, and I'm only streaming to 3. I pay for 5. So if you know 2 more, let me know, and we'll get this out everywhere. But I need a free place, because until we get some supporters, I can't do the expensive stuff. There are sites you can pay to stream on, and they're really good out here, but right now we got to stick with free. So let me know suggestions. And also, any content creators out there that know whether or not it's smart to stream from your own timeline. Because I don't know. Should I use a page? Tim Black uses a page. I never know what to do. I'm doing this as I go. Like I said, I don't learn the rules. I just figure it out as I go. But thanks for watching, guys. And I will see you on the next episode tomorrow. The next time you will see me is on tomorrow morning's Daily Burn. So please come to that. And then Wednesday night we have Conspiracy Theories and Chill. And the topic is underground bunkers and bases. We had a Twitter vote, and that's what won out. But maybe you got a topic for Conspiracy Theories and the Chill you'd like to see in the future. Let me know what it is. Maybe there's a show you'd like to see done. Something that doesn't exist. Let me know, because I am in the business of creating that right now. So anything you want to see, let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next Yankey Show. Whatever that day that happens to be, we'll pick a day and time, and moving forward, that's when this will be. But thanks for watching. See you guys later.